Bill 2017. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Dominic,
Present.
Johnson, Jackson, Lynn,
Present.
Bowman, Cawthorn, Gage, Watts,
Present.
Middleton, Atkins, Chavez,
Here, sir.
Smith, Lewis, Johnson.
President.
We have a quorum, sir.
All right. We'll have our invocation. I'll do our invocation, and then we'll have our pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Dominic. Please stand. All hearts and minds be at peace as we look to our Father in heaven. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come here and debate on issues of the citizens and the people of Caddo Parish. We thank you, oh God, for life, for health, and for strength. Lord, we ask that you bless our minds, bless our hearts, and all individuals be at peace with the decisions that we make here today. We know that it is in the best interest of you and not ourselves, oh God. God, we ask you that you continue to bless Caddo Parish and the city of Shreveport, the state of Louisiana, and this country that we live in, God. We thank you, we love you, we serve you. These and many other blessings we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All take the flag, repeat after me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Mr. Clerk, do we have any agenda additions?
I do not have any, sir.
Okay, do we have any public comments?
I don't have any cards in front of me.
All right, we rolling.
Next, we'll move to new business. Adopt the rules of procedure for Caddo Parish operating and capital improvements budget for 2018.
Move to approve. Second.
All right, and the rules are before you. I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, so please read them here, and I'm sure it is attached to your agenda online.
Yes, sir.
So if anybody needs a copy of the rules, is there any objection? Well, there's a motion by Commissioner Lynn, second by Vice President Dominic. Please vote on adoption of the rules. And these rules can be suspended, correct?
2/3 vote.
2/3 vote. The rules can be suspended with a 2/3 vote or by unanimous consent. All right?
All right.
That passes 11-0 with one out of the chamber. Okay?
Next, we move to budget ordinances for 2018 for review and adoption. We begin with ordinance number 5724 of 2017 Capital Outlay Fund.
Move to approve.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Lynn. Do I have a second? Seconded by Commissioner Atkins to adopt ordinance number 5724, 2017. I see no discussion. If we can please vote. Todd, will I vote? Do I need to vote on mine, or?
Okay, so you need to vote on yours.
I can't press it for you, sir.
If you don't mind.
No, you can't.
I don't think I legally can.
Okay,
10-0.
that passes 10-0, one out of the
Two out.
chambers. Commissioner Bowman's not here, though. Okay, next item.
Ordinance number 5725 of 2017 General Fund.
I'd like to make a substitute motion to reduce the MPC to 200K. If I can get a second.
We need to bring it to the floor first.
Okay.
And
Okay. So I have a motion by, am I doing this right? A motion by Commissioner Chavez to amend ordinance number 5725 to reduce the MPC budget to, what is it? I'm sorry,
200K even.
200K even.
we need a motion first to adopt, and then we can have the amendment. We have to adopt
Okay.
first. Bring it to the floor with
I
an
understand.
adoption
Okay.
motion.
Move
Uh,
to adopt.
Okay.
Second.
There you go. Thank you.
Do we need to adopt 5725, is that what you're saying?
No,
What we've done, we start the process with moving it for adoption. Then
Okay.
the
And
amendment comes.
then I'll repeat my amendment to reduce them to 200K. I get a second.
You did the adoption, I did the second to adopt it.
Right, this is a substitute motion. And then,
Okay, so we have a,
oh, okay.
I'll second, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
okay, so let me, just I'm gonna help you out. So we have a motion by Commissioner Chavez, second by Commissioner Middleton to adopt.
5725.
It's by Mr. Atkins, and Mr. Middleton to adopt and bring to the floor.
Okay.
Now we have amendments by Mr. Chavez.
Okay, so what are we voting on first?
We have to
You have
get
to
his
second.
amendment first.
Right.
He doesn't have a second.
Okay.
No, I
That
didn't.
doc-
Middleton,
His
I think.
substitute
Middle,
motion
that's what I was,
You got to vote.
his
I was working
substitute
to-
motion was to adopt as is, seconded, to adopt with, a cut to the MPC to $200,000 with a second by Commissioner Middleton.
right.
I did the second to Commissioner Atkins' motion to introduce.
His, right, his was to adopt, his was the second.
Okay.
And mine was a substitute to his.
Right.
So we're
That's
voting
right.
on my substitute.
Right.
all right.
So we're voting on your substitute?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So do you want to speak?
I just, I think that they can stay within your means down to 200K. We've looked at this thoroughly and spoken with Dr. Wilson. I know if we took this in as the parish, we could do it for less at 180. I think being fiscally responsible, doing 200K, although it's only a small decrease of 17,000, I think it's needed. That's all.
All right. Who seconded the motion?
I did.
Okay, did you want to speak on your second?
Nothing else there, I think.
Okay, Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
Well, I want a point of clarification first, and then I might
Okay.
make a substitute to that. Is this also including the removal of the car?
That wasn't spoken of, but I'll take a friendly if you'd like to.
I would like to make a friendly amendment to also remove from the budget the car that was in the budget.
Okay.
I'll accept that.
What car?
Just for clarification, you've adopted your capital outlay fund
Right.
budget with that expenditure in there.
Right,
What
so
would
you'd have to
happen
go
is
back.
if you adopt the general fund, you're just,
Right.
removing the transfer. But the appropriation itself will still
It's
show
already
in the
there.
capital outlay fund. But if the money's not transferred,
So
we
we on
can't,
the general.
we can't buy the car.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, we was in general fund, right?
We are at the general fund.
Okay.
You're saying the vehicle though sits
We're
in
on
the capital
general fund.
outlay.
Right,
Yeah,
but
it
she's
is.
saying that the car is in the capital outlay.
Yes.
And the money's
And so we've already adopted the capital outlay.
Yeah, it's already.
So,
So my amendment would be not to transfer the money from the general fund to capital outlay for the purchase of the car.
That's correct.
All right. Let's vote on that.
I'd like to ask us to take them separately.
Okay.
As opposed to running them all together. If that's the pleasure of the body, I'd like to take them separately.
When you say separately, do you mean the reduction
Your
and the car?
amendment And Commissioner Lyndon
Who was the
Johnson.
second on Mr. Johnson's?
Mario.
Mario.
Well, it was a friendly amendment. I accepted it.
Yeah, but, yeah, I mean, I would just like to see us take those separately, the operation and the car, because those are two separate items, and I wouldn't, I have some comments on his
Right.
amendment, and I'm fine with the car deal, but if we could run them separately.
Okay.
So we have two amendments on the floor. One amendment is about the car,
That's correct.
and then we'll get back to his amendment, and then,
It's my understanding that the maker of the substitute did not object, or the seconder did not object, and that this is a friendly amendment, so that as it stands, the substitute amendment is to cut, reduce the amount in this budget to $200,000 and to not transfer, the money for a car in the amount that would be left, over for the MPC, so it's actually one.
okay, and that's what I'm asking, is if we could break it down into two votes. Now, see,
I just wanna
Fair.
say the car amount is 25,000.
Okay.
Just need to know how much, so the
Okay.
car is 25,000.
so are y'all open to doing two different votes?
Do you think they need the car to operate, or is that why you'd like
I'm
to
not-
split them up?
No, I'd like to take the car issue, because you have an issue of a capital issue, and you really, technically, you have a capital issue and an operation issue. And the two should not be run the same.
All right.
Well, they already have a motion, so someone's got to make.
Right, and that's what I'm asking, is if y'all would decouple the two, or withdraw them and redo them over.
Would you be willing to make the motion for the vehicle after we pass the vote on my substitute motion? Okay.
So we're back to just your substitute.
Right.
Right now,
Okay.
or your amendment, which is operational strictly. So you're returning your motion?
Until we vote, and then I'll
Right.
remake
Yeah,
my.
Point of order, we need to get this straightened out legally.
So he's
I see-
withdrawing, he's basically withdrawing his motion to include the car.
Okay, but if you don't, if you vote on this budget and you don't specify that, you don't get to vote on this twice. So what you need to do is make a second amendment and
Right.
take them up in order.
Right, so we're voting on his amendment. He's withdrew his, you
Well,
withdrew on yours.
If he's withdrawing his.
He's making
from
his-
friendly amendment.
Right.
And his
He's
substitute
gonna have to
motion
make-
is different from the second one. You need to take his up first and then his. And they go back and decree, you have the motion about the car.
Okay, first, okay,
Then you have the substitute motion, then you
Mark.
have the motion to adopt
That's
as
fine.
original.
okay, that's fine.
Now,
So,
will I be able to make another substitute motion?
No.
You
Yeah,
know, you
'cause
get
you
two
can-
bites at the
yeah.
apple.
No, my other substitute motion on something totally different.
Not
On
the
the
NBC.
same budget?
It's on the general fund, but
It's
not the
on
NBC.
It's on the general fund,
Okay.
but not the NBC.
yes, you can,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, you can do unlimited
Make
amendment,
sure.
yes.
All right.
So we're on the car amendment to remove the car. We're on the amendment to remove the car from being transferred from general to capital outlay. That's the
Right.
amendment we're on at this point. Okay,
Okay.
all right, so we
Who was the
vote.
second, sir?
And second was Commissioner Chavez,
Right.
to remove the car or the vehicle, whatever.
All right.
Okay? All right, thank you. Please vote to
I get to
remove the
speak
car.
on it?
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Commissioner Lewis Johnson, I
Okay,
apologize.
no problem. I'm going to oppose it simply because I think that where they were was already a decrease. And to remove, simply remove a car without any needs analysis or any information other than just removing a car, I don't quite get that. And the question was whether or not they needed it. Well, that's why they requested it. That's why it's approved in the budget initially, because there was a need for it. To suggest remove it without any other information, I'd be opposed to that as well for that reason. So I'll be voting against it for that reason as relates to MPC.
All right. Attorney Frazier, I see you in.
That was for what I said earlier.
Okay. Mark, if you could come up.
Whoa, 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 he can't. Our rules say that no
Okay,
one from the
two-thirds.
public can speak
Well,
unless
that's
we
a
have
two-thirds vote.
two-thirds, if I'm correct.
Does he represent the public?
No one, if you look at our rules, no member of the general public will be permitted to speak except by two-thirds vote of the body
These are
to
on
suspend
final
rules.
passage, these are not public hearings.
Yeah.
This is final passage, so you don't have the public to come up to speak on final
Right.
passage unless you have the two-thirds vote.
Right, but does he he's staff, just like y'all are staff.
Pretty much.
So if that's the case, y'all can't speak. Or Robert Glass can't speak. So Mark, if you would. The public would be Pam Mattis or John Self.
That's true.
Am I?
That's true.
That's correct.
You're right.
Okay, all right, your car issue, what's the logic or rationale? I think it has been budgeted for some years now, right?
Right. The last time that the parish purchased this vehicle was in 2011. And we had 3 vehicles, and they're all the same age. And we're reaching the point, because remember, I have my 2 inspectors that cover the 307 square miles, and we pretty much run them into the ground. And that's one of the things that the parish has done periodically, not every year or every 2 years, but you have at least purchased as a vehicle so that we could be able to do the inspections.
So how many miles, do we know how many miles are on the car?
Well, they're well over 100,000 miles already on most of the vehicles, and we have one vehicle that is actually virtually out of commission at this point in time. Now, you got to remember, all you're doing is purchasing. If you do approve for the purchasing of a vehicle, is that all the maintenance is taken care of through the city as opposed to the parish. So all we ask for is the purchase of the vehicle, the funds to do so, and that allows us to operate effectively and efficiently for our inspection purposes.
Okay. And so this has been budgeted for 3 years, am I correct, Eric? Ms. Bryant?
We budgeted for a few years, but not consecutively 3 years.
Okay.
We have purchased on occasion when they need a vehicle. we have-
But wasn't the vehicle purchased in the budget last year?
No, sir.
Not last year.
No,
Okay.
sir. We haven't had a purchase of a vehicle since 2011.
Okay.
So we're we're now into the 6th and entering into the 7th year. And as you well know, those vehicles put on a lot of miles.
And what kind of vehicle is this?
These are typically like an SUV, kind of like an SUV type truck, pickup type design or whatever for the purposes of going out and doing the inspections,
And
carrying
it's
information. They also carry all the posting signs for the purposes of the zoning cases. So when there's a zoning case in the parish, we have to post a sign indicating that there is a rezoning occurring. So my inspectors go out and do that as well.
All right, so you feel this vehicle is essential to
Yes, sir.
carrying out?
I mean, otherwise, we're going to reach the point where we just don't have operational vehicles anymore, and it's going to be complete wear and tear factor. I mean, again, it's been going on almost 7 years since the last time we actually got a purchase of a vehicle.
Okay.
Now, we had originally said we actually need all 3 replaced, but we said, okay, we won't do that. If you could just replace us one this year and maybe another one in a few years, we can spread that out. We didn't ask for all 3 at one time, but technically all 3 are at the same age.
Dr. Wilson, do you feel this expense, I mean, you usually vet these before you include them in the budget. Is there a reason or rationale for putting it in? Because you usually meet with the department or the agencies before you put your budget together.
That's what we do. And usually the criteria is anything more than 100,000 miles, we look at replacing it.
You look at
And
replacing
then
it?
surplusing the vehicle.
Okay. So you felt that this was essential or vital?
Yes, sir, we don't, yes.
Okay. All right, thanks, Mark. Thanks,
Thank you,
Doctor. All right. All right. Seeing no more questions, please vote on the amendment to remove the car. All right. All right, that failed, that amendment fails 2-9. All right. Okay, so now we're back to
Now on to
his
my motion.
motion to reduce it to 200,000.
Right.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Please vote on the amendment to reduce the MPC. All right. That passes 8-3. All right. And now we need a motion to adopt. Oh, I'm sorry. You said you had some more amendments.
Yeah,
I'm
another
sorry. Okay.
substitute motion.
Okay. Amendments. We on amendments.
Yeah, well, this is for general fund.
Okay.
This includes the general fund, the public works fund, the building maintenance fund, the detention fund, parks and recreation fund, solid waste disposal fund, juvenile justice fund, and the health tax fund. And that is to have a cost of living increase for all Caddo Parish employees at 2%.
Second.
All right. To your amendment. Your amendment is to do an increase on all of those funds.
Because you have payroll in all those funds.
Right. I'm trying to do process here. So you want to so you don't want to adopt those, you just want to put an increase in them. Right
Well,
now.
the increase is already there based on the proposed budget
Okay.
of what they had proposed. So what I want to do is do a substitute motion to say that all Caddo Parish employees get a 2% cost of living increase
Across the board.
across the board with no merit.
I'll
Okay.
do a second if you'll do a friendly amendment to that.
Can we keep our motions separate? Because in this process, friendly amendments can kind of cloud things. Is that okay, y'all?
No, I'd like, if you would accept this, I'd like to do a 2% cost of living increase with a 1% merit, and have that solely for everybody that makes under 70,000 a year, and then anybody over $70,000 a year that there's a freeze.
Not a friendly amendment, though.
I'll second that.
Well,
That's what I
it-
think.
no,
I
it's
think
for-
I think
excuse
it's
me,
proper that should be a separate motion. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Is these are not friendly amendments. Friendly amendments is what you add, the MPC staff into it. That's changing the whole. That basically changes his motion. So I think that should be separate.
Commissioner Johnson,
Point of order, so and I agree with you, I think you got two different, you got a
Right.
amendment at 2% across the board, a
Right.
second amendment, a substitute by Commissioner Lynn
Right.
of 2% and up to 1% of anybody below
70.
70, and we would take up his amendment.
Yeah.
Matthew's first.
I'll second his.
Well, no, you made the motion.
Well, I
Make
can
the
go
motion.
right, but I can still make a motion
No,
after
she
I get
seconded his
the
motion
second.
already.
Okay.
She seconded his motion
Oh,
already.
okay.
So,
I'm sorry, Stormy seconded his
Well,
motion.
then I'm on the board.
Okay, so now you're on the board.
I'd like to add a substitute motion to that, to a 2% cost of living increase with a 1% merit for everybody that makes below 70,000 a year, and for no increase for those that make above 70,000 a year.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion. Do you want to speak on your motion?
In looking at the pay rates of Caddo Parish, the average pay of a citizen that lives in Caddo Parish is about $42,000 a year. That the average pay of a person that is in Caddo Parish is quite a bit above that, and so our pay that we pay everybody every year, and I'm guilty, and the commission body is guilty, that we over the last several years have been doing pay raises that have put them in a position to where they make disproportionately more money than similar jobs of comparable governmental entities. And so their pay is skewed, and they're making more. And granted, they do a wonderful job, but at some point, this compounding pay raise, we've got to slow it down just a little bit, just like what we did with the NGOs when we were reeling out of control on that. And this is just one way to stop that. It cost Caddo Parish $110,000 a day in payroll. That's how much our payroll is. $110,000 a day is what Caddo Parish's payroll. And so I just ask that if we can focus on giving the people that make less than $70,000 a year a raise, and everybody that makes above $70,000 a year, if we could freeze them, I think that it would be fiscally prudent on behalf of the Caddo Parish citizens that don't make anywhere close to any of those numbers. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Middleton, you want to speak on the second?
It's well stated.
Okay, Commissioner Lewis Johnson.
For clarity's sake, Commissioner Lynn, you agreed with the 2% and an additional 1% for merit,
Up to 1%.
Yes, sir.
additional on top of the 2%. Okay.
Up to,
Okay.
at Dr. Wilson's discretion.
Okay. My only question would be, is there an established, is the merit measurable? Have we identified that, or is that yet to be established
That
as
would
relates
go
to what
into
would qualify
day-
as merit?
That would go into day-to-day operations for which none of us are privy, and that's all Dr. Wilson's.
No problem. And
control.
my only other question is 70. That's just a number that you feel comfortable with. We just came up with 70.
No,
Is there any particular reason why?
I'm pulling that from Social Security, the increase, and 70,000. Yes, I mean, I've discussed that with several people. It's gone from 45,000 to 50,000. I don't think there's very many people that work for Caddo Parish that make too much less than 40,000. But I'm very comfortable with 70. Yes.
I was curious for clarity's sake. I support the supporting the increase. I just wanted some clarity in that respect. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to get some quick clarification on, are you asking for, and I may be trying to ask what you're also asking as well, are you asking for a combined 3% after the two, or a combined 2%?
No, it's 2% cost of living with Dr. Wilson having full authority over an additional 1% for anybody that makes less than 70,000 a year.
So that sounds
Which
like
would be
3%.
No, he doesn't have to give the 1%.
He doesn't have to give it.
So he was saying split the 2%, is what you're saying?
No,
It's the same thing that Dr. Wilson was suggesting in the budget. He suggested a 2% COLA for all employees and up to 1%
No. It was
the
backwards.
merit.
It was flipped. It was 1% COLA, 2% merit.
Okay.
so this is a 2% cost of living increase with a 1% merit, which is at Dr. Wilson's discretion
Sound like
for
3% to me.
people that work for Caddo Parish that make less than
That's what I'm saying. It
70,000.
sound like 3. So some will get 3 is what I'm asking. Some will get 3 and some will get 2.
Total.
Usually
Yes.
That's what I was asking. Okay,
Potentially.
potentially. Okay, that's what I was asking. I wanted to be sure if it was 2 or 3. Okay.
Let me ask him a question.
Okay, go ahead.
And so under your formulation, anybody making over $70,000, obviously they don't qualify for any merit. You wouldn't
Correct.
consider 25 basis points, 15 basis points. Okay, and so with that methodology, if we hit next year at the same time, would you be suggesting the same time 2% across the board? Only an increase for people over less than 70,000.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just-
what
I'm
gonna
trying to
be-
get you-
where I'm going to be next year.
I'm just talking
where
about
I'm,
just the
where I'm
thought
going to be
process.
next year would be based on, do we still have 353 employees, or do we have 400 employees, or did staff reduce? Did you have a department that automated and saved the parish money by decreasing their staff? Do you have a situation where we have greater tax revenue? Do we have a situation where the General Motors plant is occupied with 3,000 jobs and people are employed and the citizens in Caddo Parish are making more money? And so as the citizens of Caddo Parish do better, I think that Caddo Parish as a governmental entity can do better. But when government just keeps doing better and the citizens aren't doing better, I find that very painful.
All right. I'm just trying to understand your methodology.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So we're voting on the amendment for a 2% and an optional 1% merit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Please vote on the amendment. All right. That passes 11-0 with 1 out of the chamber. Okay. All right. You had an amendment, or you done?
That's it.
Okay. All right. So now we need to vote on the general fund as amended.
To adopt as amended.
To adopt
Move
general
to
fund
approve.
as amended.
Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, second by Commissioner Dominic to adopt it as amended, to adopt ordinance 5725, I'm sorry, 5725 as amended. Please vote on adoption. All right, that passes 10-0 with 2 out of the chamber.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5726, Public Works Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Move as adopted.
Do what?
Moved as adopted.
Move as amended.
Amended, yeah.
Yeah,
Amended.
whatever
Okay.
amendment
Okay.
you made earlier.
Okay, so motion
Well,
by Commissioner
Zoom in.
Dominic, second by, motion to adopt as amended by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Atkins.
But there's no amendments, so it's just to adopt. Unless
We
there's an
adopted the
amendment.
pay raises, right?
That the pay raise was included in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
general
No,
fund.
no, each fund.
I'm wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, then,
You're saying all
As
of,
amended.
I guess my question is this: if we had one ordinance, I mean, we can't take up more than one ordinance at a time. How was something adopted that amended 6 or 7 ordinances? All these ordinances have to be voted on separate.
right, that's what I was thinking.
I
So
mean,
we gotta
and that's
make,
what
we
I
gotta
was
make that
asking
same
earlier,
motion
how
for
they
each
reflected
particular
in that
one.
Okay.
No,
Right, that's,
each different budget.
because it's payroll and different in each of these, so that's
Yeah,
what,
that's why I did it, because payroll is in all of these.
Right.
Now, if we gotta do that all over again, we can. I mean, don't make no big difference to me.
Well,
Yeah.
what Donna's saying, you'd have to do it for, you've already accomplished it for 5725. You'd have to say, make the same amendment for 5726.
We never have before.
57.
We never had.
I can say that.
I know, I mean.
Have I missed it? I mean,
And
because
before,
I mean, we
whenever
never
we
done
did
it
the
that way.
payroll, we never did that
They
before.
want full
I think it's always budgeted though, right?
I was about to say, I mean,
We're just working on processes, so I think everybody's trying to get to the same thing, it's just the process, so it's good. All right, I
So,
think the
so
solution
do
is
we
on
need
the
to do
way.
each one separately?
I
That's
can
the
do
question.
that.
Hang on, he's,
What's got the floor? Go ahead.
he's got it. Take care of it.
Okay, so I would like to, in global, can I do that?
Yes.
Okay, in global ordinance 5727, 26, 28, 29, 5730, 5731, 5732, to include the amendment of a 2% cost of living, 1% merit for employees making under $70,000, and no cost of living or merit for individuals making over 70.
Second.
All right.
No, that's not what he said.
That's what Matthew said earlier.
That is exactly what I said.
No,
No,
That's what he said earlier.
I'm
That's-
going with what Lyndon said, because that's what I
There's a
said.
motion by Commissioner, oh, you the chairman? Hold on one moment, hold on.
Well, I guess I need
Let's-
to get
hold on.
clarification to the amendment that they thought they heard.
All right, so there's a
Right.
motion by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson to englobo and adopt those budget ordinance as, with the amendments, second by Commissioner Dominic. All right, now do you?
The
want to-
clarification of what you thought Matthew said.
I mean, it's whatever the clerk has.
No, I
because
just want to make sure.
It was,
'cause
my
that's-
it was my understanding that the cost of living was across the board,
For everybody.
but the merit was only for
correct.
those making less
I
than
didn't say
No.
$70,000.
that was my understanding.
That was not what I said. What I
That
said
ain't
was
what he-
exactly what Commissioner Johnson said.
That's what he said, what I just said. I wrote it down. That's why I said it.
And I rehearsed it.
What's she saying?
No, can you reread
Oh,
I
what
What's
you
he
had
saying any
2%
different?
for all
So in essence-
employees and 1% merit for those $70,000 or below.
Right.
That's what he
Which is the
said.
same
That's
thing.
what, that's what
That's
I
what he
different.
said.
That's different.
See, that's,
I just have a question.
Okay.
Okay,
that's why you don't do it.
The way I wrote it down was that it was 2% across the board for everyone, 1% for up to 70. If your amendment was to basically say up over 70 gets nothing,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That is what I said.
that's what he
He said
said.
that.
That's what he said.
And that's,
that's not what,
I'm,
that's not the way.
I'm sorry I spoke in a way that y'all misheard.
Well, for the record and for the legislative intent,
Well, I mean, we got a problem because
So it's 2% for all employees, cost of living.
No.
no.
It's 2% under 70, 1% cost of living under 70. Excuse me, 2% cost of living under 70, 1%
Merit.
merit
Merit under
under
70.
70.
Right.
Nothing above 70.
If you're making above 70,
You're gonna get a
gonna
raise.
the same
Frozen.
salary.
Right.
You're frozen.
Okay, so that's not what I heard
That's
originally.
what I
Okay.
heard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
That's what I
glad y'all
understood.
asked.
That's what I understood.
Well, we've established that for the legislative record. Okay,
No,
all right.
it's not right.
Any, you want to speak on your motion?
well, I just want to make sure we get
Okay.
they all right because we voted on the general fund.
Right.
If the general fund is one way and we englobo all these other ones
Mm.
another way, then we got a problem.
Right.
Well, then we
Well,
just
the
need to go
7, the 12, or the 10 that's here has established that our intent is that it is 2% cost of living for individuals under 70 and a 1% merit for individuals under 70.
Up to them.
Up to
Correct.
1%
Say we had to do one at
for
a time.
individuals under 70. So,
One point
that
of
was for all
clarification for our
employees, though.
payroll system.
okay,
And that's part of my confusion. Our payroll system is designed, you would have to, in
all employees
effect,
under
ask for
70.
a pay decrease
already
to the ones over 70. Because when we give a cost of living, it just adjusts the pay grades. So in order to give someone that's over 70, you would have to say, so if someone is at pay grade 5, step 18, they will go to 5, step 20, stay at 18 with the 2%. So in order not to give them a 2%, you would have to drop them 2 steps, which is an effective pay decrease, and that has to happen through disciplinary action. We can't change someone's, if someone is at step 518, they stay at step
done it
518.
before.
The cost of living is it's a cost of living. Everything just changes. And you stay at your step. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have,
No.
you stay at, if you're at step 518 and you give a cost of living, you stay at step 518. You don't change your step, only merits change your step, actual merits. So if you give a cost of living you have to change someone's pay grade. So like if I'm at step 518 and you don't want me to get the 2%, you have to change my pay grade to step 516. And we can't just decrease some, that is in effect a pay decrease to, you're changing their step and grade. You're changing their
Yeah,
step.
we've done that.
okay.
That's how our payroll system is set. You're set up on, so you can accomplish what you want to accomplish, but it all has to be merit.
Right.
Okay. So
Up to a 3% merit and no cost of living, because to give the cost of living would have to be to everyone.
I'm going to withdraw my motion then.
Okay.
That's why I was confused, because I didn't know
Okay,
y'all.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so, can I withdraw that motion and?
Sure, and I got, hold on, I got Dr. Wilson in the queue.
Oh, it's my understanding, Commissioners, that the way I heard is that all employees would get a 2% cost of living adjustment. If that's not what the intent was, that was not what was said.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'd have pushed the button earlier to speak on that.
I think he,
'Cause I don't.
I think
it's
what
right.
happened was he put the nobody over 70 at the end.
Yes, certainly, I would have
And I
liked to
think that may
comment on
cause
that
some confusion.
if I had a different understanding what y'all were voting on.
Okay.
But as it came out, I thought I heard one thing, the intent was something else.
Okay.
But at the appropriate time, I'd like to make comments on that.
Okay. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Atkins.
Well, my observation was what Ms. Bryant pointed out.
Okay.
We could, if we decide that's our objective, we can meet it with no cost of living adjustments and a 2 to 3% merit across the board.
Okay.
Well, across the board below 70.
Except your part-time employees will get nothing, they
Right.
don't get
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lee.
I'd like to make a motion to engloboing ordinance 5726, 5727, 5728, 5729, 5730, 5731, and 5732 to offer a 2 to 3% merit only for only the employees that make less than $70,000 a year.
Second. Okay. So we have a motion by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, second by Commissioner Mike Middleton. Okay. Do you want to speak on your motion?
I'd like to note that that is with no cost of living increase, and that offers strictly merit of 2 to 3% for every Caddo Parish employee making less than $70,000 per year.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
I'd like to make a substitute motion
Okay.
10 Global Ordinance 5726 through 5732 to include a 2% cost of living increase for all Caddo Parish employees.
Second.
Okay. All right. So there's a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson to do a 2% cost of living for all employees. All right. All right. Please vote.
You vote on
Lyndon's first. All right. Please vote on your motion. All right. All right. That passes 8-2.
Mr. Chairman,
What about the?
Mr. Chairman, I'm finna address this, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
I would like to reconsider ordinance 5725 to have a 2% cost of living increase for all Caddo Parish employees.
All right. So
Second.
motion by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, second by Commissioner Dominic to do a reconsideration of ordinance 5725.
Yes.
All right. Please vote on the motion to reconsider.
And this will clear up
Yes.
the issue.
The issue from before.
Please vote to reconsider. All right. That passes 8-2. Is that the new screen?
Yeah.
8-2 with what, 2 out of the chamber? All right. All right. I assume we're back to you, Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
That's it. I'm done with that.
Okay. So what we're gonna do with the general fund?
Oh, move to approve it, but anybody could.
Gotta adopt it.
But you gotta adopt.
Well, move to adopt the amended ordinance of 5725.
Second.
Okay. All right. There's a motion to adopt ordinance 5725
With the new amendment.
with the new,
Can you?
or you
Well-
include, that's what I'm.
Okay, so we
including.
can move to adopt with the amendments of ordinance 5725 through 5732.
No, you just do 5725 by itself.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanna make
Just
sure.
do it by itself.
Okay,
With-
that's
Then we're
fine.
going back to
With your
redo
two.
the general
Okay.
fund.
All right. So 25.
You gotta say it.
Move to adopt the amended ordinance of 5725.
Second.
What are you adopting?
No, you just said you reconsidered it, so when we reconsidered it, it
Right.
passed. So now that it has been amended, we approving the,
But don't you want to put the pay changes in there, or this would be back the way
it's
they were
already in there.
originally? You
Because
never
we just
said it.
reconsidered, and the reconsider was yes.
No, we just reconsidered just to go back to it. So
Okay.
you have to, so you,
But I put
so
it in
you
my
have to
motion.
make
You
the
have to
motion
make
to
the
do
motion.
the pay amendment now.
Okay, well, I make the motion to put the 2% cost of living for all Caddo Parish employees, COLA, in the general fund, ordinance number 5725, which that's what I said in my
Second.
All right.
reconsideration.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, second by Commissioner Doug Dominic. All right,
I put them in that both.
please vote on the motion to adopt. Was this already budgeted this way?
It's actually come below budget.
Okay,
The budget has a merit piece
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Less than budget.
We'll make the internal change and just drop the.
I'm saying, but does this put the budget over or under?
Under.
Okay. All right, that passes 8-2 with 2 out of the chamber. All right, next.
So now we go back to 5726.
No, we in Globo.
We're done.
We in Globo.
So we got 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32.
Correct.
Right.
So now we're at the biomedical.
5733, Biomedical Foundation Fund.
Correct. So move for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Please vote on, move by the chair, second by the vice chair to adopt 5733. Please vote on the adoption of the budget. All right, that passes 10-0 with 2 out of the chamber. Next.
Ordinance number 5734, Riverboat Fund.
All right.
Motion to approve ordinance 5734 Riverboat Fund. I'd also like to englobo 5735, 5736, 5737, 5738, 5739,
Can you
5740.
take 37 out?
Pardon?
37 out. Can you take that one out?
Okay, I'll take 5738 out,
37.
5737 out, 5738. That's it.
All right. Okay.
I'm good.
33, 34, 35, 36, and 38 will vote.
Yes.
Correct.
Now,
And I'll
34.
second that.
34.
Yes, 34.
If I have a second.
I second it. All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, and second by the chair to englobo those. Do you want to speak on your motion?
No.
Do you want, I saw you on the board.
No, I'm
Okay.
good on that.
All right, please vote. All right, that passes 9-1 with 2 out of the chamber. All right,
Okay,
next.
next we have ordinance number 5737.
All right, I'd like to make an amendment, one amendment. I've talked to the chair to, the chair of that committee, to slice in half, Get Up Inc., and add in the application for the Northwest Louisiana Food Coalition to do the Healthy Foods Initiative. I sent that application over to Erica and Donna, and they vetted it. I assume y'all vetted their information. And I spoke with the chairman on that one. This one basically breaks it even. Yeah, it's basically budget neutral. That's all it is. And these are in my district, so I'm talking to them, and they're fine with it. And there's going to be some more in-kind services to be provided.
Second.
All right. And that's the only amendment I have. All right. Motion by the chair, second by the vice chair for that amendment.
Can we
Please.
hear what that actual number is right now?
It is, I think it's budgeted for 15,000.
I thought it was 10, the community
It's
renewal
15.
is 10.
No. It's for Get Up Inc. is at 15,000 and split it. Yeah, that's the low. Festival,
They're at
CC
10.
Antoine Festival.
They're at 10.
They're at 10? Okay. I thought it was 15, I'm sorry.
So 5 and 5.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
He talked to him.
What was the name of the other group, the second group?
It's, I think they're financial, what's his name, is Community Renewal. Community Renewal.
Community Renewal.
Yes.
I got a substitute.
Okay. All right. Has everybody voted on the amendment? All right, that passes 9-1, okay? That amendment passes, that's just an amendment, not the ordinance yet. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, I want to make another amendment to reduce riverboat funding by $35,000 by reducing biomed EAP.
You mean economic development?
Yeah, economic development by $35,000 by reducing biomed EAP from $235,000 to $200,000. And I get a second. I tell you why.
Second.
All right. Basically, got the information from the city of Shreveport, and in their budget, they're basically proposing to give them $200,000. And I think as we look at our budget and our numbers, we should be more in line with the $200,000 than to be over. I know the initial ordinance back in 2014 said that we would do 2 for 1, but when we did proposed budget, we said up to $235,000. But right now, I think that we should be more in line dollar for dollar with the city instead of being the $35,000 over. That can actually probably help some other organization.
Okay. All right, you want to speak on the second, Commissioner Gates?
I agree with that. That was one of the initial projects that we came in on, well, that I came in on, and mirroring what the city was already doing. So I think that would put us in line and actually be following the ordinance.
Okay.
So I support this.
Okay, all right. See Commissioner Lynn on the board.
I'm in opposition to this. Our original agreement was to pay twice as much as what the city would pay. And we did that as a method to raise funds for economic development. And we said we'd give $500,000 if the city would give $250,000, and we would give twice as much as the city would give. And so technically, we should be sitting at $400,000 right now, not $235,000. So if any changes were to be made, that should be the direction, not $235 to $200, but $235 to $400. I hope that we can all stick with the $235 and hang in with the economic initiative that we've got going on. They're pretty much the only economic initiative that I see happening right now in Caddo Parish. That's all.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Lewis Johnson.
I think that I agree. If we were initially agreed to give twice as much, to say that we're in line with giving the same would not necessarily be in line with anything that we had agreed to do previously. And 235, which is where we are now, as Commissioner Lynn has said, is far less than what the 400 would have been. We're talking 35, so I support that we would maintain where it is as opposed to decreasing it at this time for that reason, and because of the positive and measurable work that's being done there.
Okay, I'm up next. I agree with Commissioner Lynn, Commissioner Johnson. I think your argument that it should be double could be made. I think we've agreed to 235. I think we need to keep it at 235. If you read the paper today, you'll see that EAP was mentioned in the paper today about a startup concerning some sports apps, if I remember correctly. So I think we need to keep it at 235. That's my opinion. And I'll let it go to Commissioner Atkins at this time.
Thank you. As you all know, I'm supportive of VAP. I think they do great work. I think they're a real benefit to our community. However, that being said, I generally lean towards trying to reduce our total NGO budget. I think we have too much money going to NGOs. I think that money needs to be redirected back to our core responsibilities. I understand economic development is a core responsibility. However, it's not a core activity of the parish. So I will not oppose Commissioner Johnson's proposal. Thank you. Huh?
So you're for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Commissioner Lynn Coughlin.
Yeah, I just want to briefly chime in and agree with Commissioner Matthew Lynn. We talk a lot about what needs to happen in the local community as it relates to economic development. Even if you've got some challenges with EAP, it's probably the closest thing that's replicating these type of activities in other cities. And our original agreement was 2 for 1, so I think that we should stay at the 235, just to be consistent. Thanks.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, it's very funny, you know, you guys talk about how successful they're doing and we should be at the 2-for-1, but there was no motion to bring them up to 2-for-1. The 235 was just a holding point, basically, because if the city decided to do 0, then it would have been 0. I think the motion and that passed was under the last term of the last commissioners. And so that basically was 1, 2, 3, 4 of us that was here, 5 of us that was here. So 5 of us made that decision back then to say the 2-for-1. I think I might even opposed it then, but no, I supported it then because that was before the first year of it. But looking at the how the funds are dispersed in the organization, I still have a problem with that. It's not to help the entrepreneurs get started. It's basically going toward paying for consultants, administrative fees, and all that kind of stuff. And I just think that the public dollars should not be used for that. Public dollars should be used to help kick off those small companies. And, you know, if you agree that it should be 2-for-1, then you should make that motion to increase it to that. But nobody did that. So to me, that tells me you really don't 100% agree on what you're really saying. So if the 235 is fine with you guys, that's fine, but I'm still gonna stick to the motion of the 200,000.
All right. I just want to, before we go forward, and it slipped my mind as we were doing the Glovo, and Gerald is not here, but I did want to thank Commissioner Atkins and Commissioner Bowman for leading their efforts. Our resources are getting smaller, and so they worked with administration to scale these back, and so just wanted to say thank you. I know it's not a easy task to go through. I tend to run from those committees. But thank you for your work, and thank you for going extra mile with settling some other issues, so appreciate it. All right. Commissioner Lynn.
Motion to increase EAP's funding to 400,000.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
That's
why I didn't
for
do it.
lack of a
Thank you.
second.
I'm just saying, that's what you said. It came back to
Okay. All right.
He's over saying second.
Okay. All right. Please vote on the, I believe we're back to the substitute to go to 200,000. All right. Please vote on the motion. All right. That fails 5-5. All right.
I'll make
Go ahead.
a motion that we adopt ordinance number 5737 with
As
the-
amended. Okay.
As amended.
All right. Please.
Second.
All right. Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by
Got it.
Commissioner Atkins.
Point of clarification. In our proposed budget, I know that 235 was a sticking point, but it was up to 235, so do we still have to do the max 235?
We didn't do the
You know, I raised that issue last year now. I raised that issue last year, and I was told that they just put an amount in, and I highly raised that issue of it was always up to that amount.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It was always up to, was it $4 million or $5 million?
It was 500,000.
But we're
per
talking
year
about
for
this
5
235
years.
right now. So
Right.
is it up to that max number?
If that's the number in the budget, to do something different than the number that's in the budget, you have to vote to change that number.
Okay, that's good. I just want to know for my long-term memory.
Appreciate your consistency on
Before we do it again.
that. All right. All right. Please vote on the ordinance as amended.
Which one are we voting on now?
As amended.
Yes, as amended.
235.
With the,
Where are we? I'm sorry.
we basically moved, cut the Get Up Inc. and have moved some over to the community.
In your,
Yeah,
okay,
that was
thank you.
amended.
We already voted that.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
is.
but we're
Yes.
adopting as
But
amended.
you have to adopt the ordinance as amended, as amended. So this is the whole ordinance here.
You adopt amendments and then you come back and adopt the whole ordinance.
Right. All right. All right, that passes 10-0 with 2 out of the chamber.
Ordinance number 5739, Reserve Trust Fund.
Okay, I make a motion to englobo ordinance number 5739, 5740, 5741, 5742, 5743, 44, and 45.
Second.
All right. There's a motion by Commissioner Doug Dominic, second by Commissioner Lynn and everybody else to englobo and adopt those budget ordinance. If you will, please. I heard Lynn first. All right. Please, vote on the englobo and adopt. All right, did anybody want to have any comments before we left? I know it's not on the agenda. Dr. Wilson, did you want to say anything?
No, so we got another meeting Thursday. That's why.
Okay, meeting Thursday.
We meet Thursday. Remember at 2:45 for those to come so we can do the.
Oh, yeah, remember the picture or the
Yeah.
video at 2:45. Again, 2:45, there's a picture or a video for Christmas holiday, for our holiday greeting that we're gonna do. So 2:45,
Everybody's supposed to be at 2:45?
yes,
Yes,
if you
sir.
can.
That's the first I heard of that.
Y'all didn't want your emails. I'm just playing. You have to check your emails. I think Crystal sent it out to everybody, but there's a video or a picture. And I think she sent it out yesterday after the meeting, so if you hadn't checked it, you probably hadn't seen it yet. But I don't think it'll be too long.
Oh, she's gonna do a video.
And I don't think our meeting will be too long either if Doug doesn't talk too much. No, we're recording the video. All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lewis Johnson, second by Commissioner Middleton. Meeting adjourned.